It's Monday, and there is no news. We had came into this not late, but we're here. So pretty much we're gonna jump straight into it. We had a huge like um rebalance. Price rebalanced. Um we had a lot. So right now we're just looking for what's happening internal, and we're reading price. So it might be a little slow today. My Wi-Fi, I don't know what's good with it right now. It's been just acting up, but we should be all right. So we got a open 4 hour above us. We just don't know where we're trying to get because how much we rebalanced over this last couple of days. We left it open. We respected a 4 hour. Took buy side inside of the 4 hour, and then we're starting to maybe distribute lower. So you know with that, we got the market open in about 5 minutes. So we're just gonna get everything set up, and you know go from there. So not really much, but you know just gonna take this with what's in front of us right now. In the second, we have buy side resting right beneath that 4 hour. Possibly could want to dig inside of that 4 hour and push higher. So one thing to note, we got that on both indexes, but we also have huge 1 hour with sell side resting there. So we just take that for what it is, and we look for an internal model to see whatever happens. Whatever happens first is what's most likely going to happen next. We rebalance in here, possibly come and take this high up there and up there. So, excuse me, internal, we'll be looking for, a little internal move. It's going to prove lower. And if I can have the confidence to take, a move going lower into this gap with all this generated sell side, then I definitely will. But we got to see some internal manipulation a little bit higher first. 5 minutes the cleanest, so we'll be inside of this 5 minute. If we respect, possibly could see this going higher. But if we get through this next 5 minutes, then what is that going to tell me? We're most likely going to get lower. So over the course of these next 5 minutes, I'll be looking for that. That will add a change down there, sell side, and then a change right there. So this is a 5 minute change we're kind of anticipating to see if we really want to get lower. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We got targets. Damn. So yeah, we got pretty much everything. We changed up there, displaced, and we opened up a fair value gap, respected it, and we're starting to see those legs out. We were not on that market at the time, so we're not in that trade. But again, got a lot of generated sell side resting with this wide open 1 hour. So super clean. It makes sense. Again, we're just gonna wait, be patient. Easily can respect this 5 minute and then start to see higher. Also, like I said, we have this buy side up there. Jump to a 15 minute. We're gonna have buy side resting up there too. So everything makes sense. Got 5 minute highs up here. Damn. All right, we're shit's cooked right now, but we're back. We're alive. So nothing here is clean. We're kind of just topping, chop, chop, chop to get down, lower. If we want to eventually go lower, then I'll obviously look for that. But right now, there's no guarantee of anything, and we're not here to force nothing. My allergies are cooking right now, but we're good. So yeah, we're gonna have a 15-minute high put in, 5-minute highs. Now, if this gap wants to hold, that's what I'll pretty much be seeking is lower. I mean higher if it wants to hold, but if it doesn't, which on yes, we're starting to get that model slash, that displacement lower. And that's exactly what we want to see, especially towards the open. But if we're going to respect, then again, like I said, we could possibly start seeing a move back higher. But let's just take into account that buy side swept, and then we have a whole entire rebalance, which would be equilibrium is resting right towards sell side. So EQ. Then we take that 1 hour moves as well, and then bam, EQ. So we have a reason to go lower, a reason to go higher. So EQ is right below sell side. And the same thing practically for this move here. So I'm kind of anticipating this 5-minute to get ran. Starting to look like what we're running here. I'm gonna take a first stab. Stop's gonna go right above this inverse. So that, in my opinion, is just a little too much. Just a little too much, I think, right now. Which it can easily, go. I'm gonna sell 3 here. And then target equilibrium. If we run this gap, which we look like we are, then that's perfectly fine. But in my opinion, I think just 5 cons on at the open is a little too early. We're gonna open up, so we're gonna get what we get. But this is the kind of the model I'm expecting. No change, but we run this inverse. So I'm just looking for, a little flush here at the open, and for us to open up a gap. So that's what I wanted to see here. I'm gonna sell 2 more. And then we're just targeting equilibrium. As soon as we take one of these internal lows, like right here, I'm going to go break even. And we'll look to tighten up our stop loss. So that's our break even mark. We looked for a 5-minute inverse. We just took this 5-minute low. So market just open. It's not going to be, crazy displacement. We just inverse that, put in a displacement leg. And if we get displacement here out of this, gap, then this will open up. So that's what I want to see. Just kind of seeking lower off of this open. And that's pretty much it. So, and again, over these next 5 minutes, if we want to stay lower and displace, then that's what we're going to see. There's really nothing like holding us. So kind of just what I'm basing this off of, market opens, boom, we already rebalanced here. So if we want to get back higher, get to these highs, we'll rebalance inside of this gap, and then what will we do? Respect. So if we're gonna respect there, then I would expect that to already, hold, and us not to run this 5-minute inverse. So this now turns into an IV inverse, and we are just targeting lower. So something calm, something very, short, simple. This 15-minute gap right there gets ran as well. So like I said, it's simple. It's based upon just a little bit higher of a time frame. We're not looking so much on the lower time frame, like the 1 minute or the 2 minute. We're just looking, a bit higher time frame, and that's gonna kind of give me my read with all these lows resting here. So we base that upon here with this chart as well, and what we get is what we get. The displacement, but that's the pretty much the trade I'm taking. It's what I'm confident in. So yeah, 1 second. I'm just gonna let this play out. All right, so just really watching this trade on a higher time frame. 1 second, Drew. All right, so we met our break even point. We're now able to, take this trade and go break even. We're gonna go right here. But yeah, we're back. So we took out this level, which putting in the SMT can easily, kill this trade. But if we take our stop loss right here, above this 3 minute in favor, which our change is able to be pulled back to. We did put a 5 minute change in on NQ, very, very small change. Look on ES, 3 minute change, 5 minute change. Everything has a reason. We opened up a new 5 minute, so 5 minute right there. we're down to probably about like 50 on the day. So we're letting the market still, work at this open. Lower time frame, south side taken, SMT. So we're gonna close there. So we had a minimal, like minor sell side taken, and we're pulling back to a change. But if you look at NQ, we're starting to run. So we're going to look and possibly, seek higher. So look, SMT does get put in and it's valid if we put in a change with that, which that's exactly what we are doing. We didn't get past 930 low. So we pulled back to a 5-minute change as well. And like my thing is I can still continue to take lower, but I'm not gonna take an unnecessary loss, for no reason. So what I'll do is I'll jump lower time frame like the 30-second, and I'll look for another internal model, but it has to have reason. So if that's gonna be it, then that's pretty much gonna be it. You can't try to take this and make stuff up. So excuse me, my original stop would have been cool to still see lower, but NQ is giving me the read that that is not what we want to do. And NQ is about to put in a 5-minute change to the upside. So that right there automatically is going to just, keep me a little hands off for now. But that's perfectly fine, If it's going to be one of those mornings, then, that's perfectly fine, like I'm saying. So 5-minute change, super clean. ES looked nicer today. We're kind of expecting that full rebalance. So not getting it is it's fine. We're expecting it, but you got to just be able to read and react. So I'm not gonna let this market keep on reversing out of my favor. So this 3-minute, like my stop loss would have got tapped, and I would have been down 180 for no reason. So I am starting to seek this move back higher though, with all the reason that we have and the SMT. But the reason I'm just a little hesitant is NQ is not really, giving me the sign. We're putting this tiny 5-minute change like right there. If you look close below that line, and then we just run this 5-minute back up. So it's not really the cleanest. Got to also remember it's a no news Monday. There ain't no need to try and take the stab of Donda on this channel. Like, you don't want to just be trying to wing this. It's no news Monday. Price with some volume, orders really getting pushed out. I feel like we go and take that low, So here's my thing. We can easily just put a rebalance in, possibly take a high. And there's a reason we may, want to go back lower. So just that's how these indexes work, and there's not always going to be a clean shot straight to the downside or the upside. So looks like we want to put in this change to the downside all over again right here. If we do, I will be in, and I'm going to go enter there. Stop's going to go up here, and we don't put in a change. So it's probably going to be just an L. So we're going to close out down 270. So we just put in like, that wick right there. Boom, we fake put in a change and bam. Simple as that. So I'm about to most likely just call it here. Just want to keep this loss short. But yeah. We do not change simply just wick all the way down, fake out, and bam. So we run this 3-minute. Stop's gonna go right here. SMT in favor, and then obviously we're gonna be targeting buy side. Run this 3-minute here. Turns inverse after the SMT, and then we're displacing, opening up a 3-minute in favor. So this will be the last trade. We fail to take out sell side and tap into this 1 hour imbalance. So we're just we're not even targeting the 1 hour high, targeting an internal high, this 15-minute or the 5-minute high. So after we come and take this out, if we do, which that's what I'm anticipating now, I'll be break even at this high. But that's how we're gonna leave our trade for now. We're just gonna be starting to seek higher. I mean, in my opinion, we just don't fail here, but we do, you know? And that's what I have to be able to take in account. We take out a form of sell side, manipulate, and we put in the SMT, and we just do not continue lower. If we wanted to continue lower, these gaps hold in favor, but that's not what happened. So we got about a minute left to see what this 5-minute has to, you know, do for us. But as we start to get through, you know, we don't even have a 15-minute gap in the way. So, and again, this is where we're coming in after a long, you know, just rebalance all the way back up to the upside. So it's no news. And now this 5-minute, you know, that 5-minute flips. We're about to put a 1-minute change in. So we're down about 4:30 on the day. Most likely going to call it there. There is, you know, in my opinion, not enough reason for me to keep on trading it. So 5-minute holds, 3-minute does not open up. And then we're starting to put this 30-second model in back to the downside. So right there. So putting in that change here with displacement, opening up a 30-second. Want to see how we use it. Just gotta be extremely patient here. No need to continue. Just returned in the discount off of that move right there. This little range. That's all that really was. You take this 15-minute range like that. Boom, tap in the discount. And right as soon as we get in there, I want to see what really we have to bring. If it's nothing, then just take our stab. We took our stab and we walk away. S&T at these highs. We're just going to continue to seek lower how we initially were, just reading price. I'm going to anticipate this change and selling 2 more there. Quick break even though. Super quick break even. It's going to be down here. About to enter the macro. So break even is resting right there. And that's all we're literally waiting for. That's it. So we're waiting for this macro to open up. Bam, whatever happens in this window, but we put this change in after the SMT gets validated. These highs do not get swept after we rebalance the EQ. So just going to be waiting for that, and stop loss is going to stay where it's at for now. This is the last trade. Whatever happens here, it happens. Just got to accept it and, you know, take it for what it is. Put these stabs on for a reason. So sell side equilibrium still open. Take it off that sell side right there. Break even right there. Looks like we're gonna flip. And again, just look at, you know, the open from when we opened, what we did. We sold off, boom, rebalanced, put in the SMT, and then put in that change on the 1 minute. So 5 minute is still holding, but if we're gonna, you know, invalidate this trade, we're most likely gonna run it. So that's probably gonna be it here. So that's it on the day. We are officially out. We're not gonna, you know, continue trading this. I just don't see the point. You know, we took our stabs confidently. No regrets at the end of the day. Like, it's a no news Monday. No need to, you know, keep on going. So we're gonna be back. We're gonna chart that up. Just look what happens, you know. 5 minute displaces, boom, put that SMT in. We're kind of just playing within that range. So, you know, shit happens. Can't really take that and, you know, be upset. Just gotta, you know, come ready for, you know, we got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and, you know, we have news. So no news Wednesday, you know, Thursday we got news, Friday news. So other than that, that's pretty much gonna be it for the day. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be back